Okay, let me kick things off with something really direct. How safe do you actually feel your job is right now? I mean, you've put in the hours, right? Honing your skills, maybe years, maybe decades of experience under your belt. You probably feel your career's pretty solid, maybe even, indispensable. But here's the thing, and it's kind of unsettling. It's happening right now. In 2025, AI, well, it just doesn't care how hard you worked. It doesn't care about your dedication or everything you've achieved in the past. It's just indifferent to all that effort. And the core of this huge shift we're seeing, it isn't really about how skilled you are anymore. It's more about how replaceable the tasks you do day in and day out have become. And here's the kicker. Even those jobs we always thought were, rock solid, careers that seem totally immune, they're being changed quietly, rapidly. Right now. Like, we're not here today to scare anyone. Actually, the opposite. Our whole mission with this deep dive is to kind of pull back the curtain, show you these real, often silent changes happening in the job market. And more importantly, we want to give you some actual strategies, things you can do, not just to get by, but to actually thrive in this new landscape.
That's such a crucial point. You've really hit the nail on the head there. Because what we're seeing, it isn't some, far-off sci-fi thing anymore. It's here. It's now. It's already reshaping how we work. Think of it less like a slow tide coming in and more like a river just completely changing course overnight. AI brings in a whole new set of rules, really. It changes what professional value even means. It's not just what you do, it's increasingly how it can be done, and sometimes by what. So getting your head around that shift, understanding it's already happening, woven into everything, that's the first step. It really is. It's the only way to navigate it successfully. You got to be proactive, right? Can't just wait until the ground's already shifted under your feet.
Okay, right. Let's break that down then. Because we all hear the buzzwords, AI this, AI that, and sometimes it feels really abstract, doesn't it? Like it's happening somewhere else, in labs or, big tech firms. But what we want to talk about now are real things happening right now. Often, like you said, silently. Inside companies you deal with every day. This isn't theory, it's happening, it's operational. And really understanding these examples is, I think, key for you, the listener, to grasp the immediate impact. Let's start with software development. That's a big one. Moves fast. You might have heard about this new thing, Devin AI, maybe see in the headlines. Now, this isn't just another code suggestion tool or like a fancy chatbot. They're calling Devin the world's first AI software engineer. And that's not just marketing fluff. So Devin AI can actually write code on its own. It can test that code, find the bugs, and then fix them without a human stepping in for every little thing. Imagine this. A company has a problem, right? Or a new feature they need. Instead of handing it off to a team, they can just give Devin the high-level goal. And Devin, well, it figures out the steps, writes the code, tests it meticulously, finds the errors, fixes them, it learns as it goes, pushes updates, all by itself. That ability to not just write, but to execute and fix, that's huge. Right. It's a massive change, especially, you'd think, for junior developers.
Oh, absolutely.
Their work often involves exactly that stuff. The entry-level job is changing, fundamentally.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, and maybe a bit overlooked sometimes, is how Devin moves past just generating code. It's the execution and the refinement part. Within a real development setup, older tools could give you code snippets, sure. But Devin testing, debugging, learning from failures, that shows how comprehensive its engineering really is. And think about the business side. For companies, this means potentially faster development cycles, quicker product launches, and way fewer human hours spent on that basic coding and QA stuff. So yeah, roles that are mainly about that routine coding, finding bugs, checking quality, they're pretty vulnerable because those tasks, they're logical, right? They follow rules. They use data. Perfect for AI. And the implication isn't just about companies saving money. It changes what skills you need to even get into software development. The demand shifts. It's less about just writing the code, the how-to, and more about higher level stuff. Designing the architecture, solving complex problems AI can't handle yet, understanding how systems interact. You're not just a coder anymore. You're more like a code director or a system architect.
That's a totally different mindset, isn't it? Not just doing the task, but seeing the bigger picture, the strategy. And it's not just tech. Let's switch gears. How about creative design? A lot of people thought, oh, that's safe, that's uniquely human. But then tools like Midjourney just exploded, changed everything for advertising, publishing, you name it. We're talking AI that generates really complex logos, amazing book covers, ads that actually work, and it does it incredibly fast. Just picture a small business, right? Needs a new logo. Or maybe a marketing agency testing dozens of ad variations. Before, you'd hire a freelancer, go back and forth, wait weeks, pay quite a bit. Now, you type a few words into Midjourney, and boom, seconds later, you've got maybe dozens, even hundreds of options, high quality, in the style you want. That hits freelance designers hard. The whole outsourcing market for creative stuff, instantly. The speed, the sheer volume AI can produce. I mean, one person with AI, or maybe just the AI, can do what a whole studio used to do. It's faster and way, way cheaper.
Absolutely. And the vulnerability there, especially for tools like Midjourney, it comes from the fact that a lot of design work, particularly commercial design, it involves working with existing styles, right? Patterns, aesthetics that are already out there. AI is brilliant at spotting those patterns in huge data sets of art and design, and then it can just churn out endless variations. Good ones, too. Now, maybe it's not creating the next big artistic movement from scratch, not yet anyway. But it can definitely make designs that look good, meet the brief for a business, and do it at a speed and cost humans just can't compete with. So what does that mean for designers? Well, it pushes them. You have to go beyond just making the thing. You need that higher level strategic thinking, deep understanding of the brand story, really unique ideas that aren't just pattern matching. It's like you become the creative director, guiding the AI instead of the person drawing every line. The value shifts to understanding emotion, psychology, and design, having a clear vision that the AI can then help execute.
Right. Okay, now let's talk about something that's probably already affected you, the listener, maybe without you even knowing it. Customer service. You know those annoying phone menus? Or the endless email chains, they're being quietly replaced. These new ChatGPT-based bots, they aren't just basic FAQs anymore. They don't just give canned answers. No, they're handling really complex stuff now. Full customer problems. Everything from processing tricky refunds to walking someone through complicated tech support. These bots, they can tap into company databases, understand the context of your question, pull info together, and solve your problem, often in real time.
Yeah.
And here's the big one, for businesses anyway. They work 24/7. No breaks. They don't have bad days, not really. No human error, at least not the emotional kind. And crucially, they never asked for a raise.
Yeah.
So that just completely changes the game for companies. They get this automated, always on support. It cuts costs massively. And it changes what we as customers expect when we need help.
Yeah, the key is that ability to process and synthesize huge amounts of information instantly, pulling from knowledge bases, past interactions, live product data, and giving consistent answers right away. And let's face it, a lot of customer service work is repetitive. Following scripts, finding specific data, that makes it really well suited for AI automation. And that never asks for a raise point. That really speaks volumes about why companies are adopting this so fast. It's the economics. They can scale up support massively without labor costs going up proportionally. Huge competitive edge. The bigger picture here is a shift in what we expect as consumers. We want instant answers, consistent service. And that often means the need for a human for basic questions just evaporates. It pushes human agents towards the really complex stuff, the emotionally charged situations, the unique problems where you need real empathy or negotiation or a creative solution the AI wasn't programmed for. So the customer service rep of the future. Less about solving simple problems, more like a complex relationship manager. Or maybe a crisis handler.
Okay, and what if you're in marketing? Or communications, publishing, you've probably felt this already. Content generation. Tools like Jasper, Notion AI. They're not just fixing your grammar or tweaking sentences anymore. No, they're writing entire blog posts, crafting video scripts, writing whole email campaigns from zero, even drafting reports. We're seeing this trend, it's pretty clear. Companies are, often quietly, swapping out human writers for these tools. For certain kinds of content anyway, the sheer amount of content AI can produce and how consistent it is, it's just staggering. Think about a small business. Used to pay a freelancer for maybe one blog post a week. Now, for way less money, they can get dozens of AI articles covering every topic, SEO optimized, delivered instantly. Or a big company launching a product, needs 50 different social media posts for different platforms. AI does that in minutes. It just changes the whole economics of creating content. Scale and speed are king now.
Content generation is definitely a prime target, because so much of it involves pulling together existing info, sticking to formats, optimizing for keywords. All things AI is really good at because it has access to all that text data and it sees the patterns. It produces content at a scale and speed we've just never seen before, which is obviously super attractive for businesses needing constant material for SEO, social media, you name it. And that's silent replacement. It's happening because companies see they can keep up their content output, maybe even increase it, with way less human cost and effort. Now, that doesn't mean human creativity is dead. Not at all. Far from it. But it does mean the real value shifts. It's in the strategic direction, the unique voice, the emotional connection, the truly original ideas AI can't come up with, the routine stuff, the templates, the SEO fodder that's getting automated fast. It frees up human writers, hopefully, to focus on mastering narrative, brand, storytelling, things that have real cultural impacts, stuff AI can only really mimic, not truly create.
Okay, one more area. Let's look at financial services. This is a sector many see as, traditional, really reliant on human experts, but it's also being transformed. And this started quietly. Years ago, really. AI is deep in there now, analyzing investments, making complex tax predictions, generating sophisticated market insights. Instead of a human advisor spending hours crunching numbers, checking market data, trying to spot trends across thousands of stocks, AI does it in milliseconds, literally. It can model future scenarios, spot tiny arbitrage opportunities, personalize investment strategies based on your specific risk level and goals, all at speeds no human could ever match. The big advantage isn't just speed, though. It's precision. It's data-driven impartiality. AI can give insights faster and maybe with less cognitive bias than a human advisor might have. That means spotting opportunities quicker, assessing risk more accurately, getting that hyper-personalized advice that just wasn't possible at scale before. It really reshapes financial planning itself.
Absolutely. The power of AI in finance comes from its ability to just chew through and learn from massive, complex data sets. We're talking historical market data, real-time economic news, even individual spending habits, complex tax codes, behavioral finance, things humans struggle to process all at once. And in financial analysis, risk assessment, prediction, that's all about finding patterns, correlations, anomalies in that data, which is exactly what AI algorithms and machine learning are built for. Now, does that mean human advisors are obsolete? No. They still bring huge value, building trust, showing real empathy, especially when things get scary financially, helping navigate complex emotional decisions about money. But the foundational work, the heavy-duty analysis, that's increasingly AI's job. So the human advisor's role shifts. Less data cruncher, more interpreter of the AI's insights, a strategic guide, a relationship builder. And yeah, these changes are silent often because companies roll them out as efficiency improvements or better tools, not necessarily announcing job cuts. But slowly, surely, they are redefining the skills needed in finance. The human element just moves higher up the value chain, more strategic, more relational.
Okay, so we've gone through coding, design, customer service, content, finance, quite a range. After hearing all that, the big question for you listening right now has to be, are you safe? Because the answer, and it might sound a bit harsh, but it really seems to depend on one single thing. Are you actively trying out AI, using it? Or are you kind of ignoring it, maybe hoping it'll just go away? Here's the brutal truth, I think. It cuts through all the hype. And you'll hear us say this again. AI itself won't replace you. Probably not. But someone using AI, that person will. The people who are adapting now, integrating these tools into how they work, they're just getting way more done in less time. They're becoming, like we talked about, 5x, 10x, maybe even 50x more valuable to clients, to their companies, their teams. And this isn't about needing to be some tech genius, right? Or understanding the deep math behind it. It's about realizing that your skills, whatever they are, become so much more powerful when you combine them strategically with AI. You become harder to replace.
That's such a critical way to frame it. It completely shifts the story. It's not human versus machine like some battle. It's human with the machine versus human without it. The whole value proposition for us as individuals is changing radically. But it's also really important to look at the nuances. There are definitely roles, human skills. They're inherently much harder for AI to replace. These are things that tap into, well, what makes us human, capabilities AI really struggles with. So first, think about roles built on emotional intelligence, deep EQ. We're talking coaches, therapists, counselors, true leaders who connect with people. Now, AI models can process tons of psychological data. They can even sound empathetic. A chatbot saying, I understand that must be frustrating, but it doesn't feel it. It lacks genuine human understanding, real feeling. AI gives answers based on patterns from millions of texts it read. It can't truly empathize or read between the lines of a conversation or grasp the messy, illogical, deeply personal stuff in human relationships. Think about a therapist. They need to read body language, hear that slight tremor in your voice, sense what you're not saying. Or a coach, understanding your deep down motivations, your fears, your history, not just looking at performance stats. And a leader, inspiring a team, handling tricky conflicts between people, understanding what makes different individuals tick. AI can't do that authentically. These jobs need that deep connection, that intuition, building real trust. That's still uniquely human. AI can mimic it, sure, but it can't truly connect.
Yeah, that makes total sense. AI can give you the data-driven answer on what to do, maybe, but it can't make you feel truly heard or guide you through something really tough like grief or a major life change. It's like the difference between reading a textbook definition of sadness and having a friend just sit with you, quietly understanding your pain. That connection's just fundamentally different.
Exactly. Precisely. Okay, next up, roles needing genuine creativity and strategy. Think about those marketers who launch something totally new, visionary entrepreneurs. product designers who break the mold, brand thinkers who actually shape culture. Now, AI is great at spotting trends, generating ideas based on existing stuff. It can tell you what colors are hot, what keywords are trending, which ad copy worked best in tests, but it cannot create new culture. It can't come up with truly disruptive, game-changing strategies from scratch, because real innovation often needs that leap of faith, that divergent thinking, intuition, taking risks that go against the data sometimes, connecting things in ways no one saw before. AI is fantastic at remixing, optimizing, extending what's already there. It can give you a slightly better version of what already works. But that totally new thing, the counterintuitive breakthrough that changes everything, it struggles with that because it doesn't have consciousness or gut feelings or that capacity for wild, unpredictable imagination. That spark of human ingenuity, conceiving something truly original, defining the next trend instead of just following it, that's still our domain.
Right. So it's the difference between AI writing another pop song that sounds like today's hits and a human musician creating a whole new genre that blows everyone away. AI gives you more of the same, maybe better optimized. It won't give you the next big thing that tears up the rule book. That's a key difference.
Exactly right. And third, let's consider leadership and vision. Roles like senior managers, founders, strategic directors. Look, AI can manage data incredibly well. Optimize schedules, track KPIs, analyze financials, even predict risks. But it cannot manage people. Not in the true sense. Real leadership is so much more than data. It's motivating diverse people with all their different quirks and dreams. It's painting a compelling picture of the future that makes people want to follow. It's navigating messy interpersonal conflicts that have no logical answer. Making tough ethical calls where the data doesn't give you a clear path. These are fundamentally human challenges. They need judgment, empathy, a moral compass, a deep grasp of psychology. AI just doesn't have that.
Yeah.
Think about team dynamics, the unspoken stuff in a meeting, the art of negotiation, building a company culture, reacting to a crisis with courage and integrity. That's beyond AI right now. And AI can optimize your supply chain, sure, but it can't rally a demoralized team after a big failure. It could project next quarter's profits, maybe. But it can instill a genuine sense of purpose.
It's becoming really clear. AI handles the numbers, the logic, the patterns. But the human side becomes even more important. The qualitative, the emotional, the visionary, the relationships. But you also said even these safer roles aren't staying the same. You said they're upgrading. So what does this new success formula look like for all of us in practice?
Yeah, the new success formula really boils down to this: human skill plus AI speed. It's about synergy, not competition. We're heading towards a future where the most valuable people aren't just human experts or AI systems. They're human-AI hybrids. The core idea is simple. Let AI handle the grunt work, the repetitive stuff, the data-heavy tasks, the rule-based processes, all the things that eat up our time and mental energy. And that frees us, the humans, up to focus intensely on the really complex things, the strategic thinking, the emotional intelligence, the unique creativity, the stuff only we can do. So imagine a marketer, right? They use AI to generate maybe 50 ad headlines, analyze which ones work best, even draft the initial performance reports. But they spend their time crafting the big picture brand story, really understanding the audience's deep desires, building an actual community. That needs empathy, intuition, strategy. Or think of a financial advisor. They use AI for all the market number crunching, the tax scenarios, balancing the portfolio, which frees them up to build deep, trusting relationships with their clients, really understand their life goals, their anxieties, guide them through those big emotional money decisions. It's a division of labor, but it's not about replacement. It's about amplification, radical amplification. It lets us humans operate at our best, using our unique skills. It elevates our jobs from just doing tasks to thinking at a higher level. It could potentially make work less about the tedious stuff and more about meaningful impact and, frankly, personal growth. The human-AI hybrid isn't just faster. They're fundamentally more effective, more valuable.
Okay, this is where we shift gears. We've understood the situation. Now, how do we actually navigate it? What should you, listening now, actually do? Starting today, these aren't just ideas. These are practical steps, things you can do right away to, well, not just protect your career, but maybe make it much better. Action step 1, embrace learning, not fear. Okay, I get it. It feels overwhelming sometimes, maybe even scary, all this AI talk. But the first step, the most important one, stop ignoring it. Don't be afraid of it. Lean in, learn it. And here's the best part. You don't need to become a coder or an AI scientist. That's not the point. Start super small. Just pick one tool, One single tool that's relevant to what you do every day or your industry, just one. Like if you do anything with content or managing information, maybe try Notion AI. It's built right into Notion, helps draft things, summarize, brainstorm, easy. If you're in marketing or sales, check out copy.ai or maybe Jasper. They write marketing copy, emails, social posts, designers. Midjourney is amazing for images, obviously, but maybe also look at Canva's AI features for making graphics from text, or Adobe Firefly. And honestly, for anyone in any field just looking to be more productive, ChatGPT or Perplexity. Great starting points. Use them for brainstorming, summarizing, even just drafting tricky emails. The key is, keep it simple. Make it accessible. Don't get paralyzed by choice. Just pick one, anyone, and start. That first step is huge.
That idea of a low barrier to entry is so important. It cuts right through that fear, that feeling of being swamped by it all. But just focusing on one single practical tool that helps you right now in your work. You turn this big, scary AI thing into something manageable, something you can actually do. And like you said, you don't need to know the complex math behind it. You just need to figure out how to use it effectively, how it helps you. And doing that practical hands-on stuff, it builds confidence. It makes the tech less mysterious. It starts to feel less like a threat and more like a really powerful assistant you have. It's about getting comfortable with it in practice, not mastering the theory. And often, once you really get one tool, you start to see the patterns. You understand how others might work too. It makes learning the next one much easier. It's kind of like learning your first programming language, maybe. Opens up how you think about all of them.
Okay, step one, done. You picked your tool. Now, action step two. Consistent, deliberate practice. This is where it really clicked. Where using it goes from feeling clunky to feeling natural. Use that one tool every single day for 30 days. Seriously, think of it like brushing your teeth. It's just something you do. Daily habit. Non-negotiable. Doesn't have to be for hours. Maybe just 10 minutes. 15 minutes. Just enough time to play with it. Try something small. Integrate it into one part of your routine. Consistency is everything here. Not intensity. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for the perfect task. Just one tool. Use it daily for 30 days. Maybe use ChatGPT to brainstorm 3 ways to phrase that email you need to send. Or use Midjourney to generate some visual ideas for a personal project you're thinking about. Or Notion AI to summarize that long meeting transcript. Doing this builds that muscle memory. It builds intuition. You start to figure out what it's good at, what it's not so good at, just by trying things. Trust me, after 30 days, you'll be genuinely surprised how much more comfortable you feel, how much better you are at using it. It starts to feel like a natural part of how you work.
Yeah, the power of consistency, just making it a habit, especially with tech that changes so fast. You really can't overstate it. Getting good at something isn't usually about one giant leap, right? It's those small, steady steps that add up, that compound. Short interactions every day build that deeper knowledge, that intuitive feel for it. You'll just start to know how to ask it things to get better results, what kind of output to expect, how to tweak your requests. And doing it regularly helps you get past that initial awkward phase. You know, when it feels frustrating or you're not sure what you're doing, it stops being this complicated thing out there and becomes just another tool in your toolbox, something you understand intuitively, not just theoretically. It's about getting comfortable through repetition. And that comfort, that's what unlocks the real creativity, the strategic thinking. You stop just using the tool and you start actively thinking with the tool. Big difference.
Right. Okay, final step. Action step 3. Redefine your human value. As you get comfortable with AI, as you learn what it can do through that daily practice, you also almost automatically get a much clearer picture of what it can't do. And that is your golden opportunity. It's where you double down. Focus on those uniquely human skills we talked about earlier. Be more human, be more creative, be more strategic. Let the AI do the boring stuff, the repetitive tasks, the data crunching, the things that suck your time and energy. And you focus on growth. Your growth. Focus on building stronger relationships, coming up with truly original ideas that connect with people, leading and inspiring others, solving those messy, complex problems that need judgment, ethics, emotional intelligence. That's where your real lasting value is going to be in this new world. It's about using AI to make your human brilliance shine even brighter, not letting it replace you.
Yeah, and digging into what growth means here is key. It really means shifting where you put your professional energy, moving away from routine execution, and towards higher level thinking, towards solving the really hard problems, towards building deeper, more meaningful human connections. When AI handles the first draft or the data analysis or the basic customer questions, you're free to do the work that actually makes a bigger difference. Maybe that's developing a breakthrough marketing campaign that really resonates, or building rock-solid client trust through empathy, or devising a whole new business strategy that opens up new possibilities. So offloading the boring stuff, it doesn't just make you faster. It lets you become that human-AI hybrid we talked about, a professional who uses technology strategically to amplify their unique human strengths. You evolve from potentially competing with AI to being its director, its strategist, its creative partner. And that ultimately boosts your impact, probably your job satisfaction too, and definitely your long-term career security. It lets you focus on the work that really matters, the work that fulfills you, the work that creates value only a human can.
So the truth, as we've really unpacked in this deep dive today, it seems pretty clear. The future, well, it belongs to the people who adapt. It's not about being the absolute smartest person or the fastest coder or anything like that. It's really just about being the one who keeps learning, who sees change coming and leans into it instead of running from it. The choice is yours, really, and the time to choose is right now. AI won't take your job, let's say it one last time, but the person who understands it better than you do, the person who weaves it into how they work, the person who decides to become that human-AI hybrid, unlocking their own potential for growth and higher value work, that person will. And that person, we really hope, is you.
And maybe just one final thought to leave you with as you process all this. Think about your day-to-day work life, your professional routine. What's one specific area, maybe something tedious or time-consuming, where you could deliberately start using AI, not just to save time, but specifically to free you up for that deeper kind of growth. And then ask yourself, what does that growth actually look like for me, personally? How could embracing these tools change not just what you produce, but maybe your sense of purpose, your satisfaction in your work? The answers to those questions, I think, will really light up your path forward.